Tyco racetrack, and I actually looked one of them up. Kenny had the Orvonius Maximus had the hold on. He had the Tyco with night glow that would also wrap it would one of the curves would go up the wall and back down the wall and then around the track. And these were legit, man. These fucking the Tyco RCs where you would race each other. And these are little electric cars, right? You put them on the track. Those of you maybe all of you know what I'm talking about. But they're slot cars, and you race each other. Each one of the cars would have a trigger, a remote control, quote unquote remote control, and you would pull it slower, and the cars would race each other around the track. The thing is, you had to be good, because if you didn't slow down for the curves, your car would fucking just sling off the track across the room and shit. So that was pretty fun. Yeah, the Tyco RCs, the racers. One of the faves too was oh goodness, what was it? It was the car that you would put the ripcord into and zang, pull the ripcord out and it would take off. Creepiest toys, fucking like that came out a little after my time, like Teddy Ruxpin. It looked like the demented bear that talked to you and shit, like it was gonna kill you when you went to sleep. I don't know, favorite toys as a child. The Stomper 4x4 was my fourth grade favorite, and I happen to have a collection of them now. We had a couple of play sets, a couple of Stomper play sets, and about, 30 Stompers. Well, definitely not all Stomper 4x4. Some LJN Rough Riders. I'm looking at the Knight Rider car right now. It just happens to be one of a super cool toy from back in the day. Oh yeah, Stomper 4x4. When I was a little boy, like I'm saying pre-kindergarten, it was all about Lincoln Logs, and it was all about, it wasn't the Erector set, what was the other one? What was the other one, man? It had the circles and the pegs and the cogs and all that. You can make a windmill. Dang it, I can't think of the name of that one, but definitely Lincoln Logs, because we would build a Lincoln Log cabin on my brother's train set. He had like it wasn't an electric train, a big old school electric train that we had gotten from my sister's boyfriend, Robert Reeves. What's up? Oh, man, earthquake. He's not with us anymore, guys. Rest in peace, Robert Reeves. I love that dude. I got my first motorcycle from Robert Reeves. He was a cool motherfucker. I also got his old comic book collection he gave me, and I gave to my nephew Joey. Let's see. I miss Robert Reeves, man. He passed away a little while back, and he was just cool. Cool. We used to ride around 1967 Mustang Fastback, listening to fucking Billy Squier. Come on, man. Listening to some Foreigner. He would taught me how to mellow out. He would let me put on his headphones at his house and listen to whatever record I wanted to. So yeah, I mean, we all gonna miss Robert Reeves. I don't even know how I got into that. Oh, toys and stuff. Because we were at Robert's house one time, and my brothers and we set up the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier with all the guys and everything on it, and floated it onto his pond, and then we all shot it with shotguns. Took turns shooting it with the shotgun. Or they could have, something like that. We definitely shot the G.I. Joes with the shotgun. Maybe I didn't. Maybe they just shot it once or twice. But it was cool. We always had fun. Man, without always having to look down at the screen on our phone you remember whenever a kid could just get lost for a couple hours and come home and come inside just to get something to drink? Or you didn't even have to come inside to take a piss or get a drink back then, because you could just go piss out in the woods and get a drink from the hose. And you know what? We grew up, and I don't think it really affected some of us. Maybe mentally. Maybe that's what's wrong with me, guys. I'm pissing in the woods and drinking from the hose since I was a kid. Fucking animals. What was your favorite toys as a child or now? Like I said, I still got a collection of stompers, and every, like, that's one of the things that made it through the flood. And I'm like, I still have some of them that are new in the packages that are warped a little bit. I thought, I'm gonna pull this old stomper track out and set it up and play with some stompers sometime. I'd like to show the next generation, like, set it up for the grandkids and let them play with it, whenever they're big enough. Oh, so speaking of, guys, fitness. I have a thing that just says fitness and then $signs. So I definitely have to send a shout out to any rock and roll rednecks that are still walking the face of this earth. You know exactly who you are. Shout out, rock and roll rednecks. Y'all remember that? You remember the rock and roll rednecks? Sweeney High School? Yeah, I'm sending a shout out to all of you rock and roll rednecks. Motherfucking. We'll get into, I wanted to talk about one of my best friends, or my best friend, definitely growing up. His name was Donovan. And one of the interesting things about Donovan was that, I don't know, man, we lived in the same apartment complex in Pasadena. I was like 12 and he was 13. I'm talking, this was 1985. And we ended up being the best of friends, man, for years and years and years. And I think, how kids have their terrible twos. I think some of us have our terrible 20s, because I kind of had my head in my ass and not really having my priorities in order with my family, my loved ones, and my close friends in my 20s. Not particularly blaming it on anything. However, I think that, I don't know, taking about 900 prescription pills a month, pain pills and muscle relaxers, might have clouded my judgment a little bit, guys. I mean, I'm biased, you know what I'm saying? So I'll give myself the benefit of the doubt. However, I'm just thinking that clouded my judgment and kind of, maybe I didn't deal with things quite how I should. However, hindsight's 2020. You know what I mean? We can talk about the past all day long. The future's not promised. I can plan all the plans that I want to plan for tomorrow. However, the only time that we have to do anything is the time at our hands right now. So we got to perform every single task to the best of our ability, no matter how small, no matter how big. And even whenever that comes to realizing that, there's a possibility that I could have been a super douchebag back in the day. However, realizing that and coming to grips with it is awesome. But the point is that sometimes you lose touch with some of your best friends and you miss them. I miss Brian Berry, love that guy. I miss Donovan Dillinger, love that guy. I miss Chris Ryder. I miss Chris Pickens. I miss Kim Bro. I miss all you guys. And, my apologies for Scott Laird, for being the way that I was. We can't go back and we can't change that. But what I can do is represent and get back to my community and let these people know that I always appreciated them being there for me. Brian Berry and his whole family, they basically helped raise me. And they clearly called me out on being a douchebag, but I was proud of it. You know what I mean? There's a difference. Ignorance is bliss, And now I look back at that and I'm like, damn, dude. I fucked up, man. You're taught certain things that just aren't right, and you have to live in the real world yourself and battle your demons, and whenever you get through it on the other side, that's whenever you blessed to wake up every single day. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's just a little part of the show where we'll get into it another day, but I was going to go on here and talk about mine and Donovan's relationship and how we met and the bond that we formed and how, he texted me the other day and I was like, man, we need to hang out, dude. I miss you. He's going through some shit right now and I definitely want to be there for him. You know what I mean? Encourage him to, to continue forward and to advance and to move forward in life and to have faith. And I was like, man, you need to get a motorcycle because motherfucker, somebody stole his bike a couple years ago, which is fucked up, man. That's a fucked up deal. But anyway, I'm like, we need to get you another bike so that we can fucking go for a ride. And he was like, yeah, that'd be cool. So I was like, or fuck it, we could do like back in the day and just take turns riding. We didn't give a fuck, man. I can distinctly remember us riding around on my old busted KZ750 and Donna would just hop on the back. We'd go to the beer store, buy an 18-pack of beer and be carrying it on the motorcycle with us. Go from wherever to wherever and do our thing. And it was fun times, man. We always made the best out of a not so sunny situation when we were growing up. We always found a way to entertain ourselves. We always found a way to entertain our friends, to try to make light of the situation, of our environment, our poverty level. I guess we didn't really know that we were that disadvantaged, other than whenever we had kids, that we went to school with that had a bicycle that cost more than our first car cost. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we'll get into. I'd like to probably just see if I can get Donovan on the show. Just say, hey man, call in, come down, dude, come down, sit down with me one morning, and let's do the radio AM. And do a little reminiscing, kick back and relax and strap on our seatbelts. Because you've never been on a ride like this before. And yeah, in the upcoming AM shows, I'm going to start to search out for some new audio nuggets. Bring you on the radio AM. Maybe some audio nuggets. Maybe we'll do that Monday. So what are you guys doing this weekend? I don't even know what the weather's going to be like. I haven't checked it out. But it looks pretty gloomy here. It looks like it was definitely sprinkling a little bit. So yeah, just thinking about the last thing we'll talk a little bit about is living for your mind, your body, and your spirit. That your body has to be fit. You've got to care about the things that you put into your body. Makes you feel a whole hell of a lot different whenever you cut out things like sugar, highly processed foods. When I say you've got to live for your mind, that means read a book. Check out Wallace Wattles' The Science of Getting Rich. That's a book that I haven't read in a while, and sometimes it just helps me as far as the way that I feel inside. It's probably one of the very first self-help type books. You can check out, get The Science of Wallace D. Wattles. You cannot go wrong there. If you want to live for your mind, live for your body, live for your spirit. That means that you might want to meditate. You might want to go to church. Whatever this does to get you in touch with your spirit. And if you get lucky, you might get into yoga, mixed martial arts, maybe even kung fu, taekwondo. A lot of these things help you with with the mind, the body, and the spirit. You're challenging your mind. You're learning something new. It helps you spiritually, and it helps you to advance your body physically. And just trying to just stay healthy and to eat the right things, it's definitely the path of the more resistance because it's way more expensive. It's harder to find the right any